Could a secret military plane really ignore the laws of gravity?
Over it. It's like a 727 or something. And now it's gone.
Many people saw a giant black triangle near a base in Oregon, and it was not a normal jet. This craft stayed still in the air with no sound and then vanished. Some say it is the TR-3B Black Manta, a ghost ship that the government denies having.
A lot of chemtrails in the sky today. And here is an object in the sky. I don't know what it is. It looks very strange. Very strange.
This story will look at leaked files, strange sightings, and secret patents that reveal the truth. Stay tuned to find out what is really flying in the dark.
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs, that are out there of extraterrestrial origin.
People, always said, well, how did you feel? How did you feel when you first looked at the craft? It's not excitement, it's an ominous feeling. It's just we're so used to something else. Mm-hmm. It's like, people say, well, that must have been so cool. No, it was not cool at all. It's like I actually wanted to go back out. It's a really creepy feeling in there. Galileo was the project I was involved in that dealt with the power and propulsion system of the craft. This is where they talked about reverse engineering extraterrestrial equipment. This is when I really realized, okay, we are reverse engineering something that some other entities made. This is where it became real for me. And if they have a machine that is producing its own gravitational field, they really want to know how to make more of those.
Do you ever wish you could forget what you saw?
Oh, no, not at all. No. No, I want to see it again. I want to know more about everything there.
If you could ask somebody who worked at S4 right now, right? If you could talk to them right now, what's something you'd ask?
What did you find out? Where did we go from there? I mean, tell me anything.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was the power generated? How did the components communicate to each other? What range did they work at? Just tell me anything. Fill in any blank at all. It's like having a crossword puzzle with nothing in it. Just please put a letter anywhere and I'd be happy. He rotates the emitter further than he did before, and a little black dot, a little ball forms there. And as I walked out under the craft, I couldn't see the craft. As I got closer to it, the craft just turned into sky. What I was seeing was the light bending around the craft. Imagine if you could control that, right? What you could do.
If you could have taken one small item from the hangar with you, what would it be?
From the hangar.
Or from the lab.
That's kind of a trick question there. Boy, I just don't want to get into that.
All right.
Okay?
All right, yep.
Yeah. I mean, actually, to answer the question, I may have already done that.
Classified physics defying objects. A headline saying the Pentagon found a military craft that ignores physics sounds like something from a movie. It is exactly what people talk about when they see the TR-3B Black Manta in the sky. Not long ago, a very clear photo was taken near a military base in Oregon. It showed a black triangle just sitting there in the air. This kind of thing happens a lot, and for starters, it makes people wonder if we have secret tech that does not need wings to stay up. There are still many rumors on the air, but what many can confirm is that these sightings are getting harder to ignore. The craft people see is usually called the TR-3B or the Astra. It is said to be a huge black triangle that is about 600 feet across. For reference, that is almost as long as 2 football fields. It has a matte black finish and bright lights at each corner. In the middle, there is usually a glowing circle. The crazy part is that it does not make any noise. Normal jets have loud engines that you can hear from miles away, but this thing just drifts like a cloud. Nobody expected this to happen, but witnesses say it can go from sitting still to moving at thousands of miles per hour in a blink. So here's the deal with how it supposedly works. It does not use normal jet fuel. Instead, people say it has something called a magnetic field disruptor. This uses a special kind of liquid mercury that is spun at very high speeds and high pressure. When you do that, it creates a field that makes the craft 89% lighter. Basically, the plane does not have to fight gravity as hard as a normal plane. Because it is so light, it can turn and zip around in ways that would usually crush a pilot. This is a key detail because it explains why it looks like it is ignoring the laws of physics. Many are not seeing the truth here because the government says these planes do not exist. But get this, there are patents from the Navy that describe almost this exact thing. A man named Salvatore Pais filed papers for a triangular craft that uses high-energy plasma to move. The papers say the craft can move through air, water, and even space with almost no resistance. It's not that simple, though, because the military often says these patents are just ideas and not real machines. Still, when people see a giant triangle hovering over a base in Oregon, they stop believing the official stories. The Oregon sighting in 2019 is one of the most overlooked aspects of this mystery. Several people saw the craft near the Portland Air National Guard base. It was not a drone, and it was not a weather balloon. The edges were sharp, and it looked solid. One witness said it looked like it was made of one piece of dark metal. What most people don't realize is that these sightings often happen near places where the military tests new things. And that's putting it lightly. Some think the TR-3B has been flying since the early 1990s. A lot of people are confused about why we would keep this a secret. If we have a plane that does not need oil and can fly across the world in minutes, it would change everything. But if the military has it, they probably want to keep it hidden from other countries. See, having a craft that cannot be seen on radar and can hover silently is the ultimate tool for spying. Everyone's obsessed with stealth fighters like the F-35, but the Black Manta would be a whole different level of power. Hands down, it would be the most advanced thing ever built by humans. But what if this craft is actually built on ancient secrets? Massive, silent black crafts. The history of these black triangles goes back much further than the recent Oregon sightings. One of the most famous events happened in Belgium between 1989 and 1990. Thousands of people, including police officers and military pilots, saw giant triangles in the sky. These crafts were silent and had lights that changed colors. The Belgian Air Force even sent F-16 jets to chase them. The crazy part is that the radar showed the objects dropping 10,000 feet in less than 1 second. For a normal plane, that would be impossible. The force of that move would tear the wings off and end the life of any pilot inside. What most people don't realize is that the Belgian government was very open about this. They admitted they could not explain what was happening. This was not just a few people seeing things in the dark. It was a mass event that lasted for months. See, the triangles in Belgium behaved exactly like the TR-3B is described. They would hover over cities, shine lights on the ground, and then zoom away at speeds that no jet could match. Many are not seeing the truth here because they think it was just a secret American test. But why would the United States fly secret planes over a crowded city in Belgium for a whole year? Another big event happened in Arizona in 1997, known as the Phoenix Lights. A massive V-shaped craft, some say it was a mile long, floated over the city of Phoenix. It was so big that it blocked out the stars as it moved. It moved very slowly and made no sound at all. Thousands of people saw it, including the governor of the state at the time. He later said it looked like something from another world. For starters, the military tried to say they were just flares, but the witnesses did not believe that. Flares do not stay in a perfect V shape and move across the sky as one solid object. So, here's the deal with the Phoenix Lights. People are still arguing about it today. Some think it was a massive blimp, while others are sure it was a secret military craft like the Black Manta. One of the most overlooked aspects of the Phoenix story is that a second, smaller triangle was also seen that night. It was moving much faster and looked more like a traditional plane. This has led many to believe that the military was testing a huge mothership along with smaller scout planes. It's not that simple, though, because no country has ever admitted to having a craft that big. In the years following Phoenix, sightings of black triangles started popping up all over the United States and the United Kingdom. People near Area 51 and Edwards Air Force Base often report seeing these shapes at night. They describe them as being blacker than the night sky itself. Sometimes you can only see them because they block the stars as they pass by. A lot of people are confused about why they always have lights on. If it is a secret spy plane, why would it have bright, glowing lights at the corners? One theory is that the lights are actually part of the propulsion system, glowing because of the high energy being used. The crazy part is that these sightings are not just on land. Navy pilots have reported seeing strange objects in the water and then flying out into the sky. This is called a transmedium craft. Basically, it means the ship can fly in space, air, and underwater without stopping. If the TR-3B can do this, it would be the most dangerous weapon ever made. Nobody expected this to happen, but the more we look at old reports, the more it seems like these triangles have been here for a long time. They are not new, but our ability to film them is getting better. The tech behind the hover is even crazier than the shape itself. Nuclear-powered ghost ships. If we want to understand how a massive triangle stays in the air without wings, we have to look at the engine. According to leaked reports from people who claim to have worked on black projects, the heart of the TR-3B is a nuclear reactor. This reactor provides the massive amount of power needed to run the magnetic field disruptor. Inside the craft, there is a circular ring filled with mercury-based plasma. This plasma is heated to a very high temperature and then spun at 60,000 rotations per minute. This is a key detail because spinning something that fast creates a powerful field that messes with gravity. What most people don't realize is that this isn't just science fiction. Scientists have known about the effects of rotating superconductors for a long time. By creating a local gravity field, the craft can basically float. It does not need to push against the air like a helicopter or a jet. It just sits on its own cushion of energy. This explains why witnesses always say the craft is silent. There are no fans, no turbines, and no burning fuel. It is just pure electricity and magnetism. Everyone's obsessed with batteries and green energy, but this would be the ultimate power source. And get this, the field created by the plasma also makes the craft invisible to radar. Because the field bends waves of energy around it, a radar beam would just slide past the ship instead of bouncing back to the station. This is called an invisibility cloak for planes. It also protects the pilot. Since the field reduces the mass of everything inside the craft, the people inside do not feel the pull of high-speed turns. They could go from 0 to 5,000 miles per hour and feel nothing at all. Hands down, this is the only way a human could survive the moves these triangles make. But here's the catch. Keeping a nuclear reactor and a spinning ring of plasma stable inside a plane is incredibly hard. There are rumors that early tests in the 1980s led to many accidents. A lot of people are confused about where we got this idea in the first place. This is where things get really strange. Some whistleblowers say the government did not invent this tech. They say we found it. They claim that we have been trying to copy the engines of crashed UFOs for over 80 years. They call it reverse engineering, and it is the biggest secret in the world. There are still many rumors on the air, but what many can confirm is that the government has filed patents that look exactly like this. A man named John St. Clair also filed a patent for a triangular spacecraft that uses a rotating system to create lift. When you look at the drawings in the patent, they look just like the TR-3B. It has the same 3 lights at the corners and the same central chamber. Why would the government allow these patents to be public if the tech is secret? Some think it is a way to slowly tell the public the truth without causing a panic. Others think it is just a way to claim the idea so nobody else can use it. Basically, the TR-3B is a ghost ship. It exists in the shadows and in the stories of people who have seen it. It uses energy we are told is impossible to use. The crazy part is that if it is real, we have already solved the energy crisis and the problem of space travel. We could go to Mars in days instead of months. But instead of using it to help the world, it seems like it is being used for secret missions that we aren't allowed to know about. This is why many are not seeing the truth here, because the reality is too big to believe. Some say this tech did not even start on this planet. Underground lab mysteries. The idea that the military is hiding alien tech is something people have talked about since Roswell in 1947, but the TR-3B is often seen as the human version of that technology. A famous whistleblower named Bob Lazar once said he worked at a place called S4 near Area 51. He claimed he saw 9 different flying saucers that the government was trying to fix and fly. He said the ships used an element called 115 to create gravity waves. While he did not mention a triangle, many people think the TR-3B is what you get when you try to put that alien tech into a human-built frame. So, here's the deal with the connection to alien tech. Human planes are usually built with rivets and panels, but the triangles people see look like they are made of one single piece of material. This is a key detail, because it suggests a type of manufacturing we don't have in regular factories. Some think these crafts are grown or printed in underground labs using special 3D printers that work with liquid metal. Nobody expected this to happen, but there are stories of huge underground bases in Nevada and New Mexico where these things are kept far away from the sun. And get this, some people think the military has a whole secret space program. They believe the TR-3B is just the beginning, and that we have even bigger ships that stay in orbit all the time. They call it Solar Warden. The theory is that we have a fleet of ships that protect the Earth and explore the solar system using anti-gravity engines. It sounds like a movie, but when you look at how much money the Pentagon loses every year, it makes you wonder. We are talking about trillions of dollars that just vanish from the books. Where is that money going? Many are not seeing the truth here, but that much cash could buy a lot of secret spaceships. One of the most overlooked aspects of this is the testimony of military pilots. In the last few years, more pilots have come forward to talk about what they see during training. They describe objects that move in ways that defy physics, even though the government now calls them UAPs, which means unidentified anomalous phenomena. They still don't give us many answers. A lot of people are confused about why the government is suddenly admitting these things are real. Is it because they can't hide the TR-3B anymore? Or is it because someone else has the tech too, and we are in a new race to the stars? But here's the catch. The government's official report says there is no evidence of aliens. They say most sightings are just balloons or drones. But we all know a balloon cannot hover in one spot against a 60-mile-per-hour wind and then vanish in a second. This is where the Black Manta fits in perfectly. It gives the military a way to say, see, it is not aliens. It is just us. But then they don't actually show us the plane. It is a game of hide and seek that has been going on for decades. Everyone's obsessed with finding a little green man, but the real mystery might be sitting in a hangar in the desert. See, if we really have this tech, it means we have had it since the 1990s. That means for 30 years, we have had the power to change the world, and we chose to keep it secret. The crazy part is that the more people see these triangles, the harder it is to keep the secret. With everyone having a camera in their pocket, the ghost ships of the Pentagon are being caught on film more than ever. The truth is starting to leak out of the underground labs and into the light of day. The final answer lies in what the government is hiding today. Final truth hunt. As we move through 2026, the number of sightings is going up. People are seeing black triangles over Mexico, the United States, and even over the ocean. Some of the videos look very real, while others are clearly fake. It is hard to know what to believe when so many people are trying to get attention online. But the core story of the TR-3B stays the same. It is a craft that should not be able to fly, yet it does. It is a ship that does not exist, yet people see it. For starters, we have to ask ourselves why the mystery is still so strong after all these years. What most people don't realize is that the military is always about 20 to 30 years ahead of what we see in public. When the F-117 stealth fighter was first shown to the world in the late 1980s, it had already been flying for a decade. People who saw it before then thought they were seeing a UFO because of its strange shape. The same thing could be happening now with the TR-3B. We might be looking at a plane that will be common in 20 years. But for now, it is a ghost. Hands down, the military loves it when we think their secret planes are from outer space, because it keeps the real tech a secret. Is the military hiding a fleet that can go to space? If this tech is real, everything we know about travel is a lie. What do you think is truly happening in our skies? Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more mysteries like this one.